Hey everyone, welcome back. Get ready because today we are diving headfirst into the world of esports. This is way more than just a passing fad, right? We're talking about a global phenomenon here, and you sent out a ton of research on this. We've got market reports, industry analyses, even some academic papers in the mix. Looks like you're ready to get serious.
Absolutely. And I'm pumped to break it all down with you. What gets me is how we went from those old school, basement competitions to this massive worldwide spectacle.
Yeah, and we're talking some serious numbers here. One report, the esports market size to attain around USD 41.39 BN by 2033 report
Right.
projects a market value of, get this, 41.39 billion US dollars by 2033.
Wow. Yeah, that's a behemoth. And it's not slowing down. We're looking at a growth rate of 22.6% year on year. That's practically unheard of.
Absolutely bonkers. I mean, it really challenges that image, right?
It
Of esports just being a bunch of, teenagers messing around in their parents' basements. Totally. And the audience reflects that. The 16 to 24 age bracket. Yeah, they're a big chunk of the fan base for sure, but it's so much more diverse than people realize.
For sure. For
And
sure.
it's not just the fans who are paying attention. Even big institutions are starting to notice.
Oh, yeah.
UC Irvine, for example, the University of California, Irvine, they're giving out scholarships now to, top esports players.
Wow. So it's like, it's legit now.
Oh, yeah. We're
Yeah.
talking full-on education here, complete with coaching, strategy sessions, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
These programs are basically shaping the next generation of esports athletes, analysts,
Yeah.
everyone.
It's becoming a career path, not just like, a hobby.
Exactly.
Which makes sense. With all this attention, the money's got to be flowing somewhere.
Like follow the money trail, right?
Exactly. So where is all this revenue coming from? What's the deal?
Well, that's the interesting thing. What we're seeing now is that the revenue streams are really diversifying. It's not just about those huge prize pools anymore. I mean, those exist, of course.
Yeah.
But we're talking sponsorships, advertising, media rights, merchandise, even those little microtransactions you see in games. All of that adds up.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of sponsorships, one of these reports, the Esports Market Size Share Growth and Trends Report 2030, it points out that sponsorships, that's the big kahuna right now.
Right.
And it's not even just your typical gaming companies anymore. Major brands are jumping in. Nike, for example. Remember their first esports commercial?
Yeah. Last year, right.
Yeah, it was huge. Sent a pretty clear message. Esports is going mainstream.
Definitely. It's a gold mine for brands trying to reach a young, engaged audience.
Totally, totally.
And as that audience keeps growing, the media rights, those are becoming more and more valuable too.
Makes sense.
We've got platforms like Reuter Sports. They're buying up broadcasting rights because they're seeing how huge that viewership is.
It's like a perfect storm brewing, right? Yeah. Super dedicated and growing fan base. You've got innovative revenue models popping up, and then the global reach of these streaming platforms. And speaking of which, platforms like Twitch and YouTube, their esports viewership has just exploded.
Oh, tell me about it.
One stat that blew my mind. Twitch saw a 45% jump in hours watched just in 2021. Just 1 year.
It's mind-blowing. I mean, even the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
That played a part, even though it wasn't what anyone wanted. Lockdowns, social distancing,
Yeah.
that actually made esports blow up even more.
Right. People needed their entertainment, that sense of community.
Exactly.
And let's not forget about mobile gaming.
Oh, yeah, the mobile gaming revolution. Total game changer.
That's been huge, especially in the Asia-Pacific region where mobile gaming is just massive.
It has. It's made esports even more accessible. Now you have a whole new wave of players and fans coming in.
I mean, there are mobile-only esports tournaments now with crazy prize pools.
Yeah.
It's incredible. This whole mobile gaming surge is fascinating, right? Like, it's opening up the world of esports in ways we've never seen before. But with any kind of boom like this, you gotta wonder, are there downsides? Growing pains? What are we missing?
It's true. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? Like one of the reports that actually dug into some of the, I guess you could say, the shadows lurking behind the scenes.
Oh, interesting. Like what?
Well, gaming addiction is a big one, right?
All right.
That line between loving something and, getting obsessed, it can get really blurry. Then you've got potential health problems to think about.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, eye strain is a big one, and sleep disruption, definitely an issue. Even things like repetitive strain injuries from, using a controller or mouse for hours on end.
Yeah, for sure. Those are real concerns. Can't ignore them.
And it circles back to balance, doesn't it? Like any sport, any hobby, really, you overdo it and it's going to cost you. We need to figure out how to create that balance, not just for the players themselves, but for the whole world of esports. Make sure it stays healthy in the long run.
It's a shared responsibility, isn't it? I mean, game
Oh,
developers got to beware. Tournament organizers, even us, just the fans watching, we
yeah,
all have a part to play.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
And as esports goes global, which it's doing like crazy, that responsibility thing, that's even bigger, you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. And speaking of going global, did you know that in some parts of Asia, esports, it's officially recognized as a sport?
Oh, yeah. It's huge over there.
They're not messing around. They've got the whole 9 yards, professional teams, training facilities, the works. South Korea, for example, they were early to the game, and now they're reaping the rewards.
Killing it.
It's incredible. And you know what I love about this whole global expansion thing? It's like this massive cultural exchange happening. People from all over are coming together, connecting because they love the same game. It's amazing.
It's incredible. And it goes beyond just, countries and borders.
Yeah.
Imagine like actually stepping inside the game yourself, like feeling that rush of competition firsthand.
Whoa. That's wild.
Right. Well, VR and the metaverse. That's what they're offering. Total immersion. Remember reading about that university in Spain, the Universidad Católica de Murcia?
Yeah, yeah.
They created this insane VR gaming setup. I'm talking a whole virtual world where players train, compete, even just hang out, all in VR.
Like it's something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
I know. It's like, where does reality end and the virtual world begin,
It's blurring those lines.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the tech is only getting better, more accessible. Who knows what the future holds? This is what makes esports so captivating. It just keeps pushing the envelope, rewriting the rules. And it's not just about fancy tech either. It's about the players' stories, those rivalries, the sheer skill and strategy you see on display. Watching these athletes compete at that level, it's inspiring.
It really is. That's what gets me every time. The passion, how dedicated they are. It's contagious.
For sure.
Like, it doesn't matter if you're a hardcore gamer or just starting to check out esports. You can't help but be pulled in when you see these athletes going all out. It's amazing.
Totally. I think it shows how esports is breaking down those traditional ideas about sports and entertainment.
Yeah.
We're watching them merge, right?
Right, definitely, definitely.
And is creating something totally new, something really exciting. Remember when FC Barcelona, the soccer
And
team?
yeah, the legendary team.
Yeah. They teamed up with Tencent to get into esports more seriously.
Uh-huh.
I mean, talk about a power move, right?
Seriously. It's like, it shows you how blurry the lines are getting. Even these traditional giants are paying attention.
Right. And I think we'll only see more of that happening.
Yeah.
These big names joining forces with the digital world. It's a cool dynamic.
Mm.
Like they're competing, but also collaborating.
For sure. We're seeing a culture shift right in front of us. The definition of sports, of entertainment, it's changing, and I am here for it. It's just electric, so innovative.
Me too, me too. It's an amazing time to be following this.
Absolutely.
We're talking cutting-edge technology here. Esports are right there leading the way.
This deep dive has been awesome. We have covered so much ground.
I know, right?
From those early basement competitions to this billion-dollar global phenomenon. Wow. It's been so fun unpacking all this with you.
The pleasure's been all mine. I hope our listeners are walking away with a much better grasp on this whole world.
For sure. And, it's obvious our listeners are plugged into this. The stuff you sent over was super thought-provoking. So here's something for you all to think about. As esports grows, it's blending that line between the virtual and the real world. How do you see that impacting traditional sports and entertainment? Is it going to be this big fight for dominance? Will everything just blend together? Or are we headed for something totally new, something we haven't even thought of yet?
Good question.
Keep that in mind as we wrap up this deep dive into the exciting world of esports. Thanks for listening.